So my family and I are now several months past getting back from our place in Mexico. Life has kind of gone back, but some of the rental side of that property, that's now coming to fruition. A lot of what we're looking when we are not there is happening, and luckily the very first quarter of the year was kind of a very nice little surprise in that we have somebody that's going to stay there long term, that's building a home down there, but they're going to stay in our place for about 3 months. On top of that, we have somebody that's going to be staying down for about 10 days, as well as somebody who's already been down there for a week. Now, this place isn't even currently rented, so I'm just going to go through a little bit of what has happened, what we're looking forward to, and the next steps in the process of renting our house in Merida, Mexico. My name is Alexander Howell. Let's roll the intro. Now, for those of you who don't know, my name is Alexander Howell, and I make this YouTube channel for the most part about Merida, our home in Merida, Mexico, and just kind of real estate and international stuff in general. I am about to have a couple of videos come up about our long trip to Portugal, which was absolutely a nice little relaxation vacation where we got to see an amazing European city and the surrounding area. For the most part, we deal with Mexico and our experiences down there. Now, this video is going to be a little bit kind of loopy simply because it's been a couple of months since I've been able to really do one of these long form videos, and the reason for that was one, a lot of travel, and for me personally, it had a lot to do with some health issues. I don't know what happened to me, but for about 2.5 months, I feel like I've been sick every other day, and then for long stretches and periods of time. So I'm very happy to be back. And by the way, for the subscribers to this channel, which by the way, the buttons are down there, like, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. But for the subscribers to this channel and the people that are viewers of it, thank you so much for reaching out. I'm happy to be back and doing this thing that I absolutely love. So to catch everybody up that is maybe just finding this channel for the first time, my name is Alexander Howell. My wife and I, about 2.5 years ago, purchased a home in Merida, Mexico, which is the capital of the state of Yucatan, which, as you would expect, is in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Now, we took a long time to renovate that house. COVID, changing plans, a few different things kind of extended the timing on why it took so long to build that place, but after 2 years, we were finally able to enjoy our home and its finished capacity. Now, I have all kinds of videos on this channel, so again, if you subscribe, just go to the channel, check them all out after you see this video. We had a month down there this past summer, and it was absolutely the thing that we had been waiting so long to see. It did take a long time, but once we got done with it, it was worth it. We went over the top, we added some things that some people probably don't need, but overall, we absolutely love the final product. We were sold the property by Elizabeth Rodriguez with Yucatan Beach and City Property, and our architect, contractor, and now current property manager was Henry Ponce, which is henryponce.com. You can get all of his contact information, and I absolutely think you should use him if you're going to do kind of what we did. But pretty early on, because of our family situation, because of our kids and everything else, we knew that this was a situation where we would probably move down there once the kids were in college. And we have a few years till that point, and we didn't want it just simply sitting vacant, not earning anything. So even though we're planning on being down there between a month to 2 months every single year, probably a big chunk of that in the summer and then a few weeks sporadically over the rest of the year, we did know that we would be renting this property. And Henry luckily has a branch of his company that is a property management company. And again, if you go to henryponce.com, you might see our house here in the next week or two, because it's finally gotten its professional pictures taken so you guys can see even more amazing views of the property. But it should be up and running fairly quickly. You'll see it on Airbnb, you'll see it on this website, and we are very excited about it. Now, just before we left the property in the summertime, we had it rented for about a week, and we were really excited about that. But we also knew that there were pictures that needed to be taken. There were several repairs that were very minor to the property. When we left it, we knew that we wanted to add another air conditioner. We had some pieces of art that needed to go up. There were a couple of things that if you guys, again, have seen those videos, you see that there were some things that needed to be fixed, and that is just simply new construction. But once those things were fixed, we were excited to get it on the market, and to have it already rented out for about a week, that was amazing for us. Now, not too long after that, about 3 weeks after we got back, we ended up being informed that Henry had another person that was looking to move down at the very beginning of this next year in 2023, and they needed a property because theirs wasn't quite done yet. This is new construction, that is what it is, but they were going to be there for the first quarter of the year, the first 3 months of the year, January, February, and March. And since we didn't have any plans to be there, we said, that sounds like the best scenario ever. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is the fact that somebody will have lived in my house longer than I will have ever lived in my house. It's a very strange thing. But again, we were excited about it. We signed the rental contract. They are going to be there January 1, and I am so excited to hear from them about their experience because we were there for a month and I didn't want to come home. They pretty much had to drag me. And that's not a joke. But we're excited about that. And on top of that, one of the viewers of this channel actually is going to be down there for, I believe, 10 or 11 days here coming up. They might even be down there now by the time this video comes out. But I was excited to hear that because that means that somebody from here was able to see our property and go down there. I'm excited to hear from them what they have to say, but they basically went through our property management company. We've got some amazing people like Danny and Lenore, and they made it happen. They made it absolutely amazing. So I'm ludicrously excited to hear from them as well. But the number one thing that I want you to realize is that yes, this property is beautiful in my opinion. It's very new, which is always a very good thing when you're trying to rent something out. When people see new, that normally is an indicator that they're excited to be there. But the other thing is that these are simply pocket listings. So if you're somebody that's looking at renting a property and you hear, I've got the first 3 months of next year, but I've only had 2 rentals for the latter part of this year, I want you to take away the fact that this place isn't actually being advertised at this point. These are simply pocket listings for the company that is our property management company. Now, I don't want you coming away thinking, no way. Okay, so pause right now. I literally just got a message from Danny, who I just talked about. So that's hilarious. Can't wait to see what that's about. Maybe we got another renter. Who knows? I'll tell you later. But anyway, getting back to it. We are ludicrously excited about it. It is currently a pocket listing, and because of that, we're not actually getting the big numbers that you would expect to see from a property like this. New, big, lots of different things, multiple kitchens, bathrooms, all of that kind of stuff. We were expecting more, but it's not even really listed yet. Now, some of you might kind of look at that and see what I'm seeing a bit, and there is a bit of frustration with the idea that I feel like it should have been listed a little bit ago, and I'm a little frustrated that we haven't seen that quite yet, but at the same time, it does still mean that it is getting out there, and with everything coming in, we currently have all of the bills paying for themselves. The cleaning, the electric, gas, water, all of that, even with the small amount that we have had so far, it's still paying for itself. And for instance, for those of you who are wondering about our solar bill, we just now got our first one in that was truly on the bi-monthly basis where the solar panels were turned on, but only for a small period of time. After we left, that bi-monthly bill was 243 pesos, which means less than $15 was our entire electric bill for a 2-month period of time. We didn't have a lot of renters during that period of time, but we had been down for a month using a lot of electricity. And again, previous videos, you know kind of how I am about technology. Just the amount of sun that got into the solar panels that we currently have made that bill go down to 243 pesos. I can't wait to see what it's like when we actually have people living there and just kind of experimenting with those numbers. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see. But just with the renters that we currently have, we are currently paying the bills, which is an amazing thing. Now, I'll go through a whole breakdown of that. I'll let you know everything else going on with that in the future. This is just an update on the rental procedure and things going forward. So my basic point is this. If you're somebody that is looking at trying to build a home in Merida, Mexico, or you're trying to build one in Progreso, Guaymatún, Telchac-Puerto, Cholem, there are so many different areas in Yucatan that you can build, not to mention the areas in Quintana Roo and Campeche and all over the place, especially in this area where you might be able to get a beachfront property, a condo, whatever it might be. What I would tell you is obviously do your research, understand the property that you have, understand what you're renting against, understand that a place like mine, which is a very large place, 2 kitchens, lots of bedrooms, is going to be a different rental market than, say, a 1-bedroom or studio apartment that's on the beach. You have to make sure that there aren't 1,000 there, and normally there are only 100 renters per given day. But at the same time, you gotta know your market and also just know your expenses. If it's okay with you being able to rent out for 3 days and it pays every single monthly expense, that's a pretty positive thing. Anything else is just butter. But if it's somebody like me where the expenses are a little bit higher, then you need to make sure that you're able to get at least a week, 2, 3 weeks, if possible, with people in your property. But again, like I said, with ours and all of the videos that I've made about this property that you can go back and watch, we have a renter for the first 3 months of the entirety of the year, which I believe it's not net. I believe the gross income is about $4,000 a month, and they were pretty early on, so they didn't have like the normal prices that everybody else does. But then on the other side, it was still several $1,000s in the other given weeks that we've had so far. And again, those prices will continue to increase just because the demand seems to be pretty high. Now, that doesn't mean that it's an exorbitant amount. That doesn't mean that if you look at this place, you can't find cheaper places. You can absolutely find cheaper places. And I would encourage you, if you don't want to find something that's that expensive, I've told you for several videos that it is an absolutely ridiculous place. Every single time somebody tries to tell me, hey, what did your place cost? I always give the caveat, you have to understand that we went over the top on this. But that being said, even a place that's over the top does have a rental market. So if you are somebody that is worried that if you're a snowbird, if you're looking for a long-term property, whatever it might be, I would say, local or not, you have a very good chance of being able to rent the property. You just have to make sure that you have all of the things that a renter might want. Do they want a washer and dryer? Most of the time, yes. Pool, of course. Nice kitchens, bedrooms with their own bathrooms, things of this nature. If you're building a house, what would you want in a rental? Build that. And then ask the person that's building it what they think that other people would want as well, because the more brains in there, the better off you're going to be. But I can tell you this, even with it not being listed, even with it being kind of an above the average price per night, we're still doing well as far as renters are concerned at this point, and we haven't even really gotten started. And I can't wait to see what happens once we get this on Airbnb, Vacation Rental by Owner, and just on Henry Ponce's site. It's going to be a really exciting day. I haven't even seen the pictures yet, so I'm incredibly excited to see that. But if you're thinking about buying a property in Merida, Mexico, and you think you might only be able to be there for a few months a year, to maybe you're there for 9 months and there's a 3-month gap where you want to see if you can make a little bit of an income, I would say that this is a good investment. I think you have to be intelligent about it. And also, I will say this, prices in Merida have gone up significantly since my wife and I purchased this, coming up on over 2.5 years, coming up on 3 years ago when we originally purchased our property, and then all of the bills that we had when we were renovating that property. So because of all of that, I would say make sure that you are being very intelligent about how you would purchase the property, make sure that you build it in the right way, make sure that your expenses don't go so high that any amount of income you make is only going to break even or even less. You don't want to be paying into a property long term that you're not using. So that's my quick video. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. And again, I apologize that I haven't come up with more content lately. This has been a wild string of events with regard to my health. I'm not like ludicrously unhealthy or anything like that. I drink a lot of water, eat right. I have just been hit with every stomach bug, migraine, random issue, allergies, allergic reactions. Like, it was like a dark cloud was hanging over my head. So thank you all so much for continuing to be a part of this channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying the shorts that I'm putting out, because that for a while was kind of the only thing that I could do, just a minute of talking behind the scenes and then preparation for everything else. But I hope you're enjoying that. If you did enjoy this video and you are still here, check, like, and subscribe. I see that a lot of the people that watch these videos haven't subscribed, and all you have to do is hit that little button, and you're helping me out, and it's the freest thing in the entire world. So thank you very much. And if you guys want to join, all of that information is down below, whether it's join as a member, Patreon, all of that stuff. As you know, we also have our Facebook group, Travel, the number 2, Merida. That information is down below, as is my social media, which is mainly Instagram, Twitter, and you guys know the rest. And hopefully now that the health is back in order and I'm back, I'll be able to live stream like I've been promising you that I will. And again, we're going to continue to try to make these videos. I have I've got a piece of, I don't know why I'm beating the table, you guys can't even see, but I have a giant notepad full of ideas and topics and outlines that I'm already trying to put forth. So that's what we're going to be doing very quickly. But again, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and being here to watch this video. And until the end, as always, peace.